Hello, everyone, and welcome again to our regulatory update meeting, this time for our updates for March 2025. Uh, Today, we have many interesting information and update to share with you. This will be related to different countries: Indonesia, South Korea, Australia, Morocco, Serbia, Egypt, Rwanda, and Thailand. First of all, we start with Indonesia, where we will review some updates regarding the classification of dermal filler and dried blood spots as medical device. So, in the first guideline regarding the classification of the dermal filler as medical device, this one was issued last December by the Ministry of Health of Indonesia, and it's officially classified dermal filler as medical devices in Indonesia and provides some regulatory guidelines and some details. Let's go over them. So first of all, what are the dermal filler? Dermal filler, as you know, are used in medical and aesthetic procedure, and they are categorized as high-risk medical devices um, as Class D. So their classification places them under the regulatory framework for surgical and prosthetic medical devices. So it's a high-risk medical device. The classification of dermal filler as medical devices now it aligns with the in Indonesia. It aligns now with global harmonization of regulation and follow practices in other Asian countries, including like Singapore, Malaysia, and Thailand. So this with this official classification or as medical devices, this will ensure like a standardization in the safety and quality regulation across all the Asian region. The second guideline in Indonesia today is regarding the dry blood spot, as we said. It is also now officially classified as medical device. So this guideline, it was also issued by the Ministry of Health of Indonesia at the same time as the first one on December 2024. And it, as we said, also classified them officially as medical devices. And here in this guideline, we can find the new requirements for this product. So previously, these dry blood spots were not um, and were registered as accessory or non-medical device, but effective from the issuance of this notice, all the DBS product must officially be registered as medical device through the OSS platform. Yeah. So this was all for Indonesia. This official classification of these two products as medical devices, and it is effective from December 2024. Moving to South Korea, we will review some update regarding medical device cybersecurity and usability guideline for standalone digital medical device software. Let's go over them. So for the first one, the security guideline for medical devices, it was issued, as we can see here, on January, a couple of months ago, on January 2025, and it provides cybersecurity guidelines to ensure safety, of course, and security of secure use of these medical devices. So these guidelines apply to all medical devices that utilize network communication, including embedded software and standalone medical software. Both implantable and external devices must comply with cybersecurity regulation from now ahead. So To gain regulatory approval, medical device manufacturer must prioritize cybersecurity throughout the device lifecycle, and this begin with a thorough risk assessment in order to identify potential cyber threat and develop a strategy to mitigate them. Uh, Secure software development is also crucial. This includes like implementing encryption protocols, multi-factor authentication, and strict access to control to prevent unauthorized access, for example. And once a device is in use, the manufacturer must provide regular software updates to to see to patch vulnerabilities, ensure continued protection against evolving threat, etc. And another critical aspect is the data security. So both during the transmission and the storage, strong encryption methods must be used to safeguard patient data from breaches. And finally, the user authentication and access control mechanism must be enforced to prevent unauthorized use of the device, ensuring that only authorized person can access sensitive information. These are all the requirements for the cybersecurity for all type of medical devices. So, as we said, to gain the approval, manufacturer must submit detailed cybersecurity documentation as listed here. This includes risk assessment, security testing report, and compliance documentation based on international standards. This come with more requirements. And of course, even after the approval, the manufacturer must continuously monitor and update their devices to mitigate emerging cybersecurity threats. And regular updates and user education play an essential role in maintaining the device security in this case. So that was regarding the cybersecurity of all type of medical devices. Now, moving to the usability on January 2025, this guideline would provide usability guideline to ensure safe and effective use of standalone digital medical device software. So today we'll cover the purpose, scope, and key usability requirements and approval process for compliance related to those medical devices. So this specifically to standalone medical software that is not embedded in hardware devices. It includes clinical support tools, AI-based diagnostic systems, and software-driven treatments, so ensuring stability across different applications. Um, and again, here also, of course, to obtain approval, the manufacturer must submit a usability engineering file, risk analysis report, compliance document, and validation testing results. All these to ensure the software meets the usability and safety requirements released. Our third country today is Australia, and here we review some updates regarding the requirement for medical device containing medicinal, microbial, recombinant, or animal origin substances. So the following guideline, as I said, is for requirements for medical devices containing medicinal, microbial, recombinant, or animal origin substances. It was published by the TGA this month, at the beginning of this month, on March 6, 2025, and it introduces updated classification rules. labeling changes, and compliance expectation for manufacturer and sponsor. So I would like to remind our previous attendee that some aspects of this guideline were previously communicated in a TGA article last June 2024. If you remember, it was titled Medical Device Regulation Changes, but it's talking about this aspect, aspects regarding to medical device containing medicinal, microbial, recombinant, or animal origin substances, and others one. But it was like an overview. And we shared this news on September 2024 in our RegTalk session. So we briefly discussed these changes and how they would impact sponsor and manufacturer. However, this time there is a detailed information that was included in this guideline. It is more comprehensive and more detailed and focus on medical device containing medicine and microbial. That's why I considered interesting to highlight it once more and add all the new information that was introduced. So let's go over it. So as you may know, previously all medical devices containing microbial recombinants or certain low-risk animal derived substances were automatically classified as class 3, the highest risk class category. So requiring more rigorous conformity assessments and approval. This blanket classification often led to unnecessary regulatory burdens for manufacturers, um, especially those, as many of these substances, especially those derived from microbial or recombinant sources, do not pose really significant health risk when properly processed and controlled. So that's why under the updated classification rules in this guideline, rule 5.5, the following changes apply. So microbial and recombinant origin substances are no longer classified as class 3 by default, and instead, their classification will now depend on their specific intended use and the risk profile of the device. And devices containing certain low-risk animal-derived material have been reclassified. For example, non-viable tissue or cells from sources like wool or hair are no longer considered class 3. High-risk animal-derived substances such as heart valve replacement um, derived from bovine or porcine sources, for example, will remain as class 3. So this classification update means that many previously high-risk devices can now be classified as class 2B or maybe class 2A. So this would reduce regulatory complexity of the process of registration of those devices, which is good. And the impact of these changes is, as I said, is substantial for manufacturer, as it alters the regulatory pathway for a variety of devices. So for example, under the previous classification system, a contact lens solution containing microbial derived hyaluronic acid was classified as class 3, and a non-medicated wound dressing containing microbial derived components also fell under class 3. Under this new system, the contact lenses solution are now class 2B, and the wound dressing may be either class 2A or class 2B, depending on their formulation. So, but any devices containing animal-derived hyaluronic acid will remain class 3. So for manufacturer, this, as I said, means fewer barrier and less complexity to the process of registration. And a key aspect of this also of labeling requirements. So previously, manufacturers were required to include detailed information in the instruction for use for all medical devices containing microbial, recombinant, or animal origin substances. But with this revised guideline, there are some changes. It is no longer mandatory to include information about these microbial or recombinant origin substances in the IFU, unless this information is really critical to the safe use of the device. Like for example, for allergy, for animal-derived substances, the IFU must still clearly stated in the IF, the animal derived substances, the must clearly stated the sources and processing details of this material. So, and devices containing substances regulated under the poison standards, such as collagen, such as hyaluronic acid, lactic acid, must continue to follow the respective labeling requirement. So until now, in this regulation, we should consult them for their reclassification and for the change of the labeling rule corresponding to your device. Now we move to Morocco, and here we will review some updates regarding the establishment of the new Moroccan Agency for Medicine and Health Products. This is important to know. We'll review all these expected changes, and this would help us also to understand why, for some manufacturers that were under, that had like or were undergoing process of registration in Morocco in the last year, there was some delay because of this, because this new agency was under process of the establishment. So from now ahead, things could be faster. So this, as of the last week of February 2025, this new agency, known now as AMMPS, has officially replaced the Directorate of Medicine and Pharmacy, the DMP. And this transition marks an important step in the restoration of the regulatory oversight for pharmaceutical medical devices and healthcare-related products in Morocco. So today, as I said, we'll discuss what this transition means, the impact on regulatory processes, current services, service fee, and maybe anticipated changes. So while restructuring the primary involves administrative modification, for now there is only administrative modification, it is, I think, essential to stay informed as further regulatory updates may follow in the upcoming, maybe I said like upcoming month, maybe upcoming weeks. So for now, there is no major regulatory shift that has been announced, but we can expect, it is, I think, we can expect the agency to refine and update certain processes over time. The most likely changes might include the fee adjustment, particularly for services that were previously free or underpriced, maybe possible modification to approval timeline. So maybe new compliance framework, particularly for high-risk medical products or emerging technology, products containing AI. a stronger focus on market surveillance, more on post-market surveillance. So more mean will tighter post-market monitoring to ensure continued safety and effectiveness of this product that will enter to the market. So all these are potential changes, and I think this is very important to have in consideration for a proactive adaptation to all these possible changes that could enter and forth in the next month. So I think staying informed and prepared will help during this transition. In Serbia, the update is regarding a new requirement for license amendment. Let's see. So today, I prefer to run a comparison between this new version, which is version 16, and version 15 of the instruction for submitting a request or an amendment. So this would help, I think, to understand better and highlight the differences and the changes. So we run this analysis, and here we'll give you an overview of the result. So in version 15 and 16, the amendment category are classified into 3 categories. However, these categories in the previous version lacked clear distinction. So this lead probably to certain to uncertainty about which amendment would require for. Sometimes we fall into this problem when it is not clearly defined. We are not sure if our case fall under a full approval or notification and acknowledgement. So in this version, it introduced more structured and detailed amendments classification system. So it would be easier to identify your respective case. So this amendment requiring full agency approval now explicitly include, for the first category, this explicitly include critical changes such as device classification changes, modification in intended use, or manufacturer changes, or new manufacturing sites. And these require, as it is a full approval, it require a thorough review due to their impact on the device safety and compliance. Now, for the second group that require notification but not approval, now cover distributor changes, minor labeling update that do not affect safety or performance, of course, and changes in authorized representative details. So this provides clarity on which modification need regulatory awareness without requiring like a lengthy approval process. This is like in the middle. And the last group would be the amendment requiring only acknowledgement. Though those are now limited to administrative updates, such as correction typographical errors or minor modification that do not impact compliance. So this is a refined structure that eliminates ambiguity and make it easier for applicant to determine appropriately which category pathway, which regulatory pathway they have to go through. And I think a major procedure change in this new version is the mandatory use of the e-portal system for all submission. So previously, the applicant could submit either physically or electronically, but now only electronic submission are accepted. So this will ensure a more centralized and trustable process. And in addition, all applicant must create an account, of course, on the e-portal before submitting amendment request. So with this new version, additional documents are required for certain amendments. An EU-based class 1 and self-testing near or near patient testing IVD devices now require a declaration of conformity. Non-EU manufacturer must provide an ISO 13485 quality management system certificate, and if a manufacturer changes their name or address, they must provide a notified body statement confirming the compliance. And the overall fee regarding to the fee structure, the overall fee structure remains similar with some slight adjustment. The fee for registration amendment and classification changes remain unchanged at 1,180 RSD and 11,800, as you can see in the table. And the only change that we can highlight is regarding notification-based changes. Now, it was previously for free, and now the fee applies of 1,180 RSD. So in our next country, Egypt, we'll review some update regarding advertising and promotion of medical devices and the regulatory update for IVD. Here, it is important to note that it is a draft guideline regarding the advertising. It is a draft guideline regulating advertising and promotion of medical devices. It was published this month on March 10, 2025, and it is now under, public consultation until yesterday. It was until yesterday, so public consultation is over. And so the purpose of this guideline is to set clear standard for advertising of medical devices in Egypt, in order to ensure that all marketing communication are ethical, preventing misleading, exaggerated, or false claims, to ensure that they are regulated. This will ensure compliance with the EDA, the Egyptian Drug Authority regulation. 3, scientifically supported, requiring substantiation for all claims, and transparent, setting clear rules for different types of promotional material, including printed, digital, or audiovisual, social media, as we'll see. So, the scope of the guideline, it covers a wide range of promotional material to ensure compliance across all the media platforms. So printed electronic media must follow the same advertising principle. Online and digital advertising are now specifically regulated under this guideline. Educational content is allowed only if it does not promote specific device, and press releases should be neutral and not serve as disguised advertisement. And to prevent misleading advertising, these guidelines, I think we are all familiar with all these guidelines that are more the standard rules, and just important to highlight them. in Egypt right now. So to prevent misleading advertising, the guidelines set clear restriction on what is not allowed. So all exaggerated claims, no implication that a device guarantee a cure, no direct comparison with competitor that discredit other products, no exploitation of fear or superstition to promote a device. So it is clearly stated in this draft that I think it will be enforceable very soon. So the second guideline in Egypt, this time it is we are not talking about a draft. So this is regarding IVD regulation, and it is a second version that was released last month on February 2025. And here again, I will present a comparison between this new version and the first one in order to highlight all the key changes between both versions. So in the second version, it expands the regulatory framework by adding 5 new sections: import approval procedure for IVD, registration procedure for IVD reagent, renewal of marketing authorization, safety requirement for IVD reagent, and the related regulatory documents. So in the next slide, we'll have a deep look to each of them. So the new import approval procedure section formalized the submission process via the Me device portal. Uh, this ensure like transparent and trackable system, and additionally it standardized required documentation, introduced fixed processing timeline based on the classification of the medical device, and allows for annual import authorization for businesses with a regular import need. Previously, IVD reagents um, could enter the market with basic approval, but in this second version, it mandates full registration before commercialization. So here you can see key changes that include full technical documentation required for approval, risk-based classification, HOD, ensuring high scrutiny for high-risk devices, and mandatory GMP compliance, so to be aligned with international standard. The third point is regarding the renewal of marketing authorization, and this new version clarified this process. So the authorization are valid for 5 years. A renewal must be submitted at least 6 months before expiration or to avoid disruption, and any failure to renew results in an automatic suspension. The fourth point is related to safety requirement for IVD. And here in this new version, all new IVD must undergo safety assessments before approval. High-risk devices, C and D, require post-market surveillance, and manufacturer must submit safety compliance report ensuring adherence to best practices. So I think this second version is really important for IVD in Egypt. The five and the last point in this guideline is introduced a new reference section, hmm, ensuring regulatory alignment with again international bodies. So references the EU IVDR for harmonization with European standard, align with FDA guideline for US market compatibility, and adopt WHO and ISO standard for more global credibility. Um, in Rwanda, we review some updates. So these key changes was they were introduced in this version, fifth version of the FDA fee regulation. Here we compare to previous version. So in this version 5, it represents a major shift. This is very a big shift in Rwanda phase. Major shift. Um, it's basically it's new good news because it is aiming to reduce costs and improve efficiency. It is classed as I mentioned here in this slide, that comes result from stakeholder feedback and survey. Lots of claims, lots of consultation with the authority. um, Big change. So class-based registration fee were removed, making costs easier to predict. GMP inspection are now covered in the registration fee, eliminating unexpected costs, and we will see how. So here can before before version 5, registration fee were tired by device class A to D, meaning high risk devices were more expensive to register. Now, version 5 apply a single fee based on the country of origin, making the process fairer, as if we can say, or easier to manage. So it depends if it is from the EAC, East African Community, or the SRA, Stringent Regulatory Authority, or WLA, World Listed Authority. So now it is first the region, not of the risk class. The GMP, it was very expensive depending on the region, Africa, Europe, or US in previous version. As you can see, 3,000, 6,000, 7,000. Now these fees are included in the previous fees that we just listed, corresponding to the registration, making Rwanda an interesting market. So major variation fees remain unchanged at 50% of the registration fee. A minor variation fee were gradually reduced in earlier version and are not here. They are not explicitly stated in this version. This indicate that maybe I cannot confirm if it may no longer be required, or maybe but this need to be checked with the competent authority. They are not explicitly stated, but they are not yeah, the same. It is not explicitly mentioned that it does not apply, so it needs the confirmation with the authority. We know that in previous version it was reduced from 15 to 10% of the initial fee. Confirm. And for the renewal fee, it is every 5 years. It remains unchanged. And that was all for Rwanda. We still have some minutes. We can go through our last update for Thailand, and it is a very important update as well regarding the class 1 medical devices. And so they were officially published by Medical Device Control Division on this month, a few days ago, March 17. And the document serves as an official notice to medical device manufacturer, importer, healthcare provider about important regulatory changes. So the objective here is to simplify the compliance processes for class 1 medical device. We'll see how. So one of the significant updates is the implementation of the auto approval system for low risk medical devices. It took effect on January 15. So under this new system, low risk devices that fall under the positive, there is a list that was published. It is called positive list system fast track low device. Should consult this list and see if your device fall under this list. So in this case, this auto approval will apply. So it dramatically reduces the waiting time, ensuring that manufacturer can bring their product to market more quickly. I cannot confirm how much it's the time is reduced. It is not indicated. It just that it's ensured that it is has been reduced dramatically, but we don't know exactly how much. And but is this new list should be consulted in order to see if your device fall under this list. Again, it's a class 1 medical device list for fast track. So another critical update is the prioritization of medical device aimed at preventing known as NCD, such blood sugar meters, blood pressure monitors, and cancer screening tools now benefit from this accelerated approval process. So, um, some common examples for IVD include 24-hour urine specimen container, digital, as you can see here. These are some examples for the IVD. Digital imagery reader for agglutination assay, and braid specimen container used for COVID, and metabolic testing. So additionally, blood collection tube holder, etc. This is some example for the IVD included in this list. This is some example for non-IVD medical devices included in this list, like it's a cover broad range of products, class 1, from orthopedic support like abdominal binders to critical hospital equipment, as you can see here in this list. That's all for today. If you have any question, hope it was not very boring, but I think it was a lot of very interesting updates in the regulation that worth share with all of you. Let me switch. Yes, Gabi, hello. Hello, Gabi.
Hey, hi, Iman. Thank you for the presentation. I have two questions, if I may. Yeah, can I? Okay. So one is about the new requirements in Korea, because I'm not sure I got it right. So the cybersecurity requirements apply to both standalone and embedded software, and the same for usability, or is different the scope of products subject to these new requirements?
No, the cybersecurity it applies to all software, embedded and standalone, but the usability, it is specific, as we say, to software as medical device.
Okay, all right, thank you. And the other one is about Serbia. You mentioned 3 sort of options for amendments, and I didn't quite understand what acknowledgement entails. Would you please elaborate a bit on that? Is it like a self-declaration?
Yeah, so it's like you inform the agency with the acknowledgement, the third category. You inform the agency as well, and the agency confirmed the receipt of your update, but there is no further evaluation or notification.
Oh, I see.
And the
Okay.
notification, the difference between this and the notification is that as I said, the acknowledgement, you inform, and there you have only a receipt that we received your update. but for the notification, the agency officially acknowledged the change, but the legal status of the registration remain unchanged.
Okay, understood. Thank you. Oh, and I have another one. Sorry. Also about Serbia, you mentioned that now the e-portal is mandatory for all submissions. Is that portal available for foreign persons or only to local applicants?
I think to all, since they say that it is not mentioned explicitly, but I understand that yes, because there is no other option to submit. It is not anymore allowed to submit physically, so it should be allowed for everyone, I think.
Okay, good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi,
Any other question?
Yes, hi, this is Anna. Thank you for the
Hello?
presentation.
Yeah, hi, Anna Laura.
Hello,
You're
can you hear me?
welcome, Anna Laura. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay. Thank
Yes,
you.
yes.
You mentioned at the beginning of the presentation a product called dry blood spot or something like that. Can you explain what that is? I've never heard of that before.
This is the DBS, the dry blood spot. It's a device that is now, as I said, this was in Indonesia. That is now officially classified as a medical device. So this is basically a simple device that allow to collect and it's to collect and store small blood sample. This is like a blood that you it's allowed to put this blood in a card to dry it, and it's easier to ship and test later. It's like very useful, especially in places with limited resources. It's
Okay,
like not
right.
very common device. It's very simple one.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Yes, I just have a question, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my question is regarding Australia. So on the slide it says low risk animal origin substance are reclassified, but then at the end it says any animal derived material remains class 3. So it hasn't been reclassified, or has it been reclassified? So what would be the definition of low risk animal origin substances?
Oh yeah, let's go through it.
That would be for Australia.
Yeah. Once again.
No worries.
This would be the first slide.
Yeah, so it says low risk animal origin
low risk
substances are
animal origin
reclassified.
are yes.
So is there like somewhere in the guideline that defines what is considered low risk animal origin? Is there somewhere? Because then later on the other slide says
Yeah,
animal derived
I
material
think
remains class 3.
Yeah, it said like, for example, yeah, it said like devices containing certain low risk animal derived material have been reclassified. For example, non-viable tissue or cell from sources like wool or hair. This is are not longer considered class 3. This is like considered low risk animal derived. Now, high risk animal derived substances would be something like such as heart valve replacement material that are derived from bovine or porcine sources, this one would remain as a class 3. So, okay, yes, I understand. Both of them are from animal origin, but depends of it's more specific. Some ones will be considered as low risk animal origin and other one high risk animal origin. So the first one, as I said, like would no longer be class 3, of course, and the other ones that they subcategorize and high risk animal origin would still considered as class 3. So this is like more specification. This is like I think this classification it comes to remove the complexity, because in some cases, okay, it's original from animal, but it does not cause any problem with safety. So that's why all of these products were reclassified, and yeah, now you could find them at class 2B or even at class 2A.
Okay, thank you so much. Just one more question for Serbia. For Serbia, it says full approval would include either a new site. Is that a new site of manufacturer or subcontractors?
Let me see.
Serbia, full approval.
Yeah. For the documentation?
Yes, yeah.
Here? I know this is about the stuff.
No, I think
Please, your question?
Yeah, so my question is for
I can't find it.
For the full approval.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the full approval in Serbia, it says these include classification, new site, intended use, and manufacturer. Is the new site in reference of the subcontractors, or is that the headquarter of who owns the product? Yeah, it's right here. Yeah, it says it here.
As you can, yeah, manufacturer and the new site. So here I think since we mentioned, let me just see. Manufacturer, yeah, it's manufacturing sites. Hello? Can you hear me?
Thank you so much. Yes. Thank you so much.
I can confirm it's manufacturing sites. You're welcome. Yeah, if we, I think we don't have more time for more question. I'm not sure if someone else was online for the question. We can accept one more question. And yeah, Carlina, and we can end the session. Yes, please go ahead.
Thank
Carlina.
you for the presentation.
Hello.
I have a question about Rwanda. Yes, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. I have a question about Rwanda.
Yes.
Are there any fees for variation or annual renewals?
Yes, we can hear you. It's cut off. Yes. The fees. Like for the, as I said, it is. I think most of all the yearly retention fees. I was looking into this, and over the different version, it was reduced. In this last version, it is not explicitly mentioned. I cannot confirm if it is if they still applicable or not. This should need a confirmation with the authority. But in this last version, it is not mentioned. It is not mentioned how much is the yearly of it is applicable or not, either for the minor variation or the yearly retention. All others processes are explicitly mentioned. Sorry. So it would need
Okay, thank you,
confirmation. Maybe it was cancelled. You're welcome. Thank you all for this very nice question session. And hope to see all of you in our next meeting on April in few weeks. Thank you so much, and bye-bye. See you
Thank you,
soon.
man.
Bye.
Thank you, man. Thank you,
Bye
man.
bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.